Good morning, you beans. How are you?
Pet the wagon. They deserve it for being an amazing bean. Moxie's one pet.
Moxie's one pet. I love the fact that my abbreviation is Moxie's one. I'm fine with Moxie's one. There is so much worse. Yes, how are you today, beans? Huh? Yeah, I know. Eterna 415. I think Moxie's one is... I got really lucky with that. But yeah, how are you today? Hi. I'm doing disco. This is the button I wanted. Hi. Yes, thank dog it's my Friday. I'm not under pain. So just to report a little, I did have my dental... I can't call it a surgery because it really didn't end up being as much of a surgery as I assumed. But I am not in pain. I am a little bit sore. And I think Eternal knows how much I had trouble speaking on day one, but it's doing well. Oh, that's okay, Rianeth. I hope you have a very chill morning. And, you know, just take it relaxing. Do it slow. If you're lucky and it's your Friday, like it is mine, then even better. Yes, it is a good day. But it is always a good day when your beans are around. Hello, hand. Yes, I can put my hand down. There we go. No. Fun fact, my hand isn't there, but my controller is laying on the table, and let me guess. Yep. If I move the controller away, the camera knows. Oh, this is... How does this look like a hand? I don't know. But yeah, definitely brush your teethies. Because... Wait, no, sorry, I switched buttons and now I don't know where they are. Clean teethies are important teethies. Look at these clean teethies. I don't know why I have black shadows on them. Let's not talk about the black shadows on my teeth. But yeah, it's shaky. Now I want to know more. What? Rainbow? What happened with rainbow and beer cans? Why is it not allowed anymore? I feel like I missed some really entertaining news here. It's like probably something really dumb again. Because it sounds like one of those really dumb lawsuits. I remember before I came to the US, there were always these dumb US lawsuits that popped up in Germany. I mean, everyone knows the famous McDonald's one, where she got like 8 million because she poured a cup of coffee over her lap that was hotter than it should have been. And it's like I never knew which ones were actually real because they were all so dumb. They could have all been totally fake. A wonderful example I had was the guy who turned his cruise control on in his camper and then went into the back to make coffee because he assumed that the cruise control would keep him on the road. And it didn't. And he sued the company. Or, you know, the person that dried their dog in the microwave. And that's why we now have these warnings on it that you shouldn't put specific things in the microwave. Is it real? I don't know. Are they urban myths? I don't know, but ever since I started living in the US, it doesn't make a difference. Because I know it's quite possible. Because the people I've met here are the kind of people that I would trust to put a dog into the microwave to dry. So, yeah, rainbows. I mean, you heard it here first, but rainbows do turn you gay. That's how it happens. It's like if you if you go to the end of a rainbow, you're gonna meet a very gay leprechaun, and then you have fun, and then you're gay. There, deep lore. Thank dog it's my Friday. I'm gonna get used to that, am I not? I like that. But yeah, today, what are we doing today? Welcome back. Yes, that gay, Shaky, that gay. You're doing happy things with a leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. The happy things we cannot talk about on Twitch thanks to TOS. No, yeah, what are we doing today? Last week, we got caught a little in Vampyr because we got stuck. I'll openly admit I had no clue where else to go. So I looked it up, and I think I'm at the correct spot to continue. If I'm not, then I'm just gonna play something else. I have a game in the back pocket for emergencies. And if I don't play that game, I will definitely play it tomorrow because it is a most adorable game. But I'm not gonna spoil it. Nope. So, yeah, let's hop into the corner. Let's turn on the game. And let's take a look if we can figure out why we were stuck, shall we? Yeah. Here, let me ask you real quick. So I am stuck on this quest, blackmail in Whitechapel. I talked to the guy, like there was a door here, you talk to him, he's like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. And then he stands here in the back, and it looks very obviously like you're meant to listen to him. But I don't get a prompt, I don't get an interaction. Like I walk up to this fence, which should have the interaction, but it doesn't. So my suspicion is I did not meet one person. I suspect this fella here. Or this fella, one of the two. But I didn't meet one of the two, and I suspect that they give me that info. Oh yeah, I know that, but it's a bit far to run there right now. But let me show you later if I get stuck again. Like, it's very obvious that
Just one game set in Northern England, or a movie, please. Does it always have to be London?
I know. London is the only city that exists in the UK. That's what every movie and every show and every game convinces us of. But I suspect it's this corner that I missed. But I'm gonna find out shortly. Yeah, I might have to, but let's see. Let's first of all chop up that screamer. That was a bad dodge. Oh, that dude is fine. I am not in a hurry. There. Well, I think one main issue with that is that, you know, I recognize the London eye. I'm not a British person. So if you want to make a movie that I recognize and you want to put something British in that I recognize, well, of course you're going to put in something in London. Because, you know what? I don't recognize the things that happen in North Devil County, Hampshire. Or whatever your places are called. So, yeah, I do definitely see it as an issue. That if you use something in northern London, you make it local. It's like, you know, if I watch something about this little village called Etienne in northern France, not northern French, then this is going to be really appealing to people who live there. But as an international person, I can see why Paris sells and not Etienne. So I can see that with London just as well. London is recognizable. Everyone knows London. It's like, surprise, how many movies do you know that happen in Denver? I mean, if you ignore the Denver Clan, and I'm not even sure most people still remember the Denver Clan, then that's about it. What plays in Denver? And yeah, in the end, that's not different. If you make a movie here, it's... Yeah, that's true. Shadowrun players know Denver. That's probably all. Yeah. And then, like, maybe that hint of Fallout. Wasn't there a Fallout that was close to us? But yeah, I agree. More? Is it him? Yes, it is him. That is what I was looking for. But yeah, more diverse locations. You know what I would give to have a Fallout that plays in Russia, or in China, or in Japan? Fallout Tokyo? I imagine Ghostwire shit in Fallout style. That would be so cool. No, Fallout has to be 100% US, so they can reuse the same assets over and over.
An angel made flesh, I tell you.
It's that whole... Oh, what do we have here? Sycophant Publishing. Dear Mr. Nithercott, thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such a title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to announce you that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option. With kindest regards. So yeah, there's a good hint. Yep, and that is that Richard we were looking for. Let me just see if we have anything else. Nope. Yeah, and my understanding is that he would have the hint we need to be able to actually listen to our target. So let's find out if that is true. But yeah, Fallout China would definitely make a lot more sense than, say, Fallout Japan or Fallout Russia. But, and I mean, let's face it, Fallout Russia, that's kind of stalker to some degree. Already fills that niche of the Russian post-apocalypse. Not a Pokemon.
Breaking news. A wild Avant-Laws was just spotted in the lobby of Moxie's Motel.
Oh,
A Tier 1 critter.
And thank you, Avant-Laws. Thank you very much for the resub. It's weird to think that it's just 1 month. But yeah, I'm going to talk to you later when you're out of meeting. I'm not sure why I'm saying this if you can't hear it. But yes. I mean, it is theoretically set in Chernobyl. So, you know, let's just say the ownership isn't that clear based on the Russians' point of view. But it does have this old East Bloc atmosphere that it would need. So, you know, imagine an East Bloc Fallout. Just imagine like a 1960s Fallout in the East Bloc. Or imagine, yeah, a current day China Fallout. I think you could make so much with just putting other themes in. But nope, everyone knows that Fallout 5 is probably coming and Fallout 5 will probably play in the continental US, because why not? Fallout Hawaii. Oh my god. Just anything unique. Or imagine you had a ghost wire set in Russia, and you had all these Soviet, lore. I mean, if you don't know Chernobog, you don't know your demons. Chernobog is like one of those typical Eastern gods that is just... He's a very bulky man that with his sledgehammer murders people, usually quite brutally. Beautiful character. And it's just, there is so much you could do. There is so much lore that just is mostly ignored that you could do. Or even take a German lore. Imagine you had a monster hunter set in Grimm's world, where you coordinate your hunts and you track down the werewolf, something Witcher style in Grimm's setting. There are so many things you could do with unique settings, where you literally just have to open a book and read up. You don't have to design the world around it. It's already there. It's already been written over hundreds of years. Just touch it. So yeah, that's a very long rant, all leading back to, yes, use something other than London. Thank you. Moxie's rant. I feel like we need a transition for that, so I could just have a 5-minute rant, an old gamer man rant on a background.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Come on, if you're a poet and you're called Richard Nethercott, just add a first. Like at that point, you just elevate yourself, Richard Nethercott the First.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, I'm trying so hard to eventually watch The Hobbit. I really want to. Just for him alone. Just for Cumberbatch alone, because I heard he fucking rocks in there. I just can't get myself to fight through hours and hours and hours of something I really don't want to watch for the sake of Cumberbatch. Just give me like the Hobbit Smog edition. I'd be happy.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Oh, and thank you for the hat pets. Today, I'm actually drinking a cup of a spicy V8. That is my morning drink of choice today. So when I take a short break, it's probably because I have to get all that tomato juice out of my face again, because I picked a very large cup and that was a very dumb idea. So every time I drink, I have like tomato juice halfway up to my nose.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in the city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
There is something poetic about... just listen to this. Can you not imagine just being in a city at night it's warm enough that you can be outside and all you have is rain and silence. No car traffic. That has to be so nice and relaxing. When we actually moved to Denver originally, we moved to like the 8th floor above a rather busy street. And I just remember falling asleep to that permanent city noise. Living close to a hospital, you permanently heard sirens, you had car traffic, honking. Whenever they had a party, we were right above the pool. You heard the music and the DJ down there for hours and hours. And then we moved to Northern California, and all we had was silence, where at night you would walk out of the door and you would have to take a flashlight with you, or your black dog would completely disappear in the darkness. Like, at some point I had no idea where my dog was if I didn't turn the flashlight on. It's weird going to a place that's actually dark if you've lived in a city for a while. If you've grown up in a city and if you've never experienced absolute darkness outside, or just looking up at the sky and see the stars, it's, yes. It was always entertaining. I just had to assume where both dogs are based on where the white dog currently is. But I feel like this is the least confrontative. This is the least rude answer.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
I used to have one, but it always keeps breaking. Like, we had 3 different ones, and after a year they are always broken. So I didn't purchase a replacement, to be honest.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger?
Space!
In this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
He is a poet, isn't he?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Oh, this is a tough one. Yeah, I think that is a good choice to agree with him, I suppose.
When she was younger, my mother was a painter and a poet. She told me many times how poor her artist friends were and how she helped them.
My parents pay for my rent, my food, and my clothes. All I have to give them in return is lies they do not believe.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
That's a tough life. Don't we all know that feeling to some degree of feeling like a failure to our parents because we're not doing what they did?
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
There's nothing wrong with being a hopeless romantic.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
But he didn't say anything about Darius. Oh, and he has a cold. Do I have a treatment for cold? Treatments. Yes, I do. And I have one for bronchitis. And welcome back, Ree. Let me just double check. I think we treated everyone but her. And she has... Oh yeah, she has an unknown health status because I can't talk to her. Everyone here was okay. It's besides of him because we can't cure headache. So yeah, and we have the bronchitis and the cold. We can't do migraine. And there's another cold, so I should craft another cold. But yeah, let's take care of him first.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
I really like the writing in this. They make... You know when you talk to an NPC and you feel like each conversation is just the same voiceovers? And sometimes it feels like the writers are intentionally writing voiceovers to lead to a point that you can reuse the same voiceover. Like, tell me more. And this game just doesn't do that. It's... Every conversation I have seems to be unique. And I love that. And yeah, the voice actors, they are all professional. I don't hear any duplicates. There's not this one Norwegian or Swedish guy that voices 90% of the characters. It's... Yes, I'm talking about Bethesda.
Hello again, miss.
I think that was obvious.
Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
What do you think she's gonna answer?
You don't seem to need my medical attention for now.
Like, her voice actor is
Very
like
well.
one of the best.
Goodbye then.
Okay, now let me see. So I talked to Richard as much as I could, so I'm gonna go back to the spot where I was stuck. Now let's see if I'm still stuck there, especially while Ree is around. Yeah, I think I can go through there. Because, if anything, maybe you can at least confirm that this is how it should continue. Otherwise, I have to consider that maybe I am soft-locked. So yeah, what I did here is, I knocked on his door, he came out and he was like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Nobody at home.
And you see the eye, and my understanding is that if I approach this fence, I should be able to listen to him. But there is no marker. That red marker just isn't here. So I can't listen to him. I can't open this door. Yeah, nothing. Wait, what just happened? How did that just happen? I pressed B. What did B do? Yeah, now it works. How did this not appear prior? Because this is where I was stuck for hours.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
But yeah, that's exactly what I assumed it was. I assumed that he just...
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius.
That he
Nearby the
just got
church
stuck
they just
somehow.
mentioned.
And I couldn't find an entrance from either way, but I'm really glad that that is solved. Now Darby should be over here walking around the church. He's the journalist fella. Wait. Poppa. It wasn't someone else's last name Poppa? Who is she related to? Poppa? No Poppa. Huh. Thought there was a Poppa. Hold on, wasn't it a nurse? Oh wait, that's the docs. Oh, Pippa. I'm thinking of Pippa. Not the same. Okay, so Darby should be over here. Somewhere.
The walls of your home will not protect you, for there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
He's over here. Don't knock on the door when he's just next to you.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
No, nothing else.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I highly suspect that he would prefer the honesty of this. And like maybe just using this I can trick a little bit out. Because I don't think he believes that I just care about public health. I'm a rich doctor looking for an underground medical ring.
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Let's see.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
We can find that letter too. But yeah, first let's run over to Richard. Lounging on the graveyard. You know, I have been on a graveyard once at night while it was raining. And I remember it as just this ultra relaxing and weird atmosphere.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Like, I don't actually remember it spooky. I just remember this relaxing silence. It actually feels a lot like it does here.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Is he a communist? Oh.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Oh? Okay, I want to know more about that Ree. So you're suing something, and it's related to the game. Oh. My dearest, most beloved children, I'm so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there's also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I am writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You're grown up now and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am, as ever, your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Interesting.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Yeah, let's try that. But yeah, Avantlos, thank you so much for the resub. It's so weird to think that it's been a month already. Though, at the same time, it's been a month and today's my 15th episode since affiliate. So I suppose every second day isn't too bad. I'm getting there. But yeah, thank you so much for the resub. It's...
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Like I said, it's really weird to know it's already been a month. I mean, I'm getting close to a 1-year anniversary since my first stream, but... God, let's not talk about those. Let's not. Actually, no, I suppose I could pull out like a first day stream for like the 2-month anniversary or something. For those that weren't here, and I don't think a lot of people were, I actually did 3D printing on stream together with video games. It lasted for a week, I think, and then I just gave up because it took way too much effort to make sure I always have something 3D printing while I stream. And ideally something that finishes while on stream. If you ever 3D print, you know that's not that easy. Yeah, speaking of things to do, because I'm still looking into, you know, what to do. You might remember I had the original plan that for the 100 follower stream I do an electronics kit. And just some soldering and measuring, and then I found out that the microscope I have doesn't actually have an output. So I can't even put it on OBS and stream it. So I kind of, you know, went away from that. My current plan, if I can find the right game, is to play a German game for the 100th stream. I mean, for the 100 follower stream. Not sure which one yet, because there are very few games that are not released in English. So it's probably gonna be something a bit older, but it will definitely be something interesting. Stay tuned. I mean, we're still... I don't even know how far I am now. I gotta check, hold on. Yeah, I'm 21 followers away, so that should still be a little bit of time. I'll find a game by then. But yeah, we're gonna play a German game and translate it all the way. I kinda look forward to it.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Potter.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
And do show me the bag when you're done. I'm really curious. I mean, I assume it's... if it's related to this game... I mean, is it like a little serum bag, I suppose? Now I'm really curious. I mean, I have to admit, I don't know what the opposite is of an artist, but that's what I am. I have zero creativity, zero artistic skill of any kind. I remember as a child, I tried drawing, and that's when I figured out that even my stick people don't look right.
It's locked.
So, you know, I just accepted that. Oh, that's a read. The antique figure of the Rhicolakas. I mean, it sounds Greek. Rhicolakas. Of my many journeys, I believe I was the most amazed by my exploration of the Mediterranean Isles, and particularly the island of Santorini, searching for traces of vampire presence in these sunburned lands. Herodotus himself, Herodotus, I don't know how you pronounce him in English, Herodotus himself refers to the island in his 4th book, and I'm personally convinced that there are many mysteries to be unveiled in this part of the world. Who knows that, even today, the island of Santorini is still considered by some as the most vampire-infested place in the world, way more than the Carpathians, and that its inhabitants are considered as specialists of the vampire hunt, or the hunt for Ricolacus, as they call his creature. This creature. So yeah, ever since the surgery on Tuesday, my brain has just been... I have trouble concentrating. I'm still suffering from a bit of leftover pain. So if I fuck up sentences, I apologize. Oh, yeah, exactly. I know. He agrees. Hey, Bitrot, how are you this morning? According to the local myths, the Ricolacus is a dead person who does not decay and who cannot show a vermilion complexion as long as he is gorged with fresh blood. He cannot enter a house without knocking and getting a response. Oh, so that is a thing. Garlic makes him flee. He does not consume under the sun, but his skin blackens. He can change into a wolf and other animals. What struck me the most is that the same name exists, with small variations from Mediterranean Sea to the Balkans. The Greeks call him the Ricolacus, the Bulgarians and the Macedonians name him Varkolak or Varcholak. The Serbians call him Vukodlak. Yes, Vukodlak. A name so similar to the Vulkot we already know, my dear brothers. Just to write the few words now gives me the shivers. I'm personally convinced that we are here confronted to some of proto-vampire. Maybe they are a missing link between the modern vampires and the creatures that came before them. If God allows me enough time, I wish one day to go back to the Santorini island and find the trail of this antique and forgotten figure. From drinking at the Fountain of Knowledge by Usher Tawdry, Primate of St. Paul. So it ended up being less of a surgery and more of everything thrown in. They just started with a root canal, then I got a temp crown for that root canal, then I got 2 fillings, and I got a tooth rebuild that I wasn't even aware I needed, because it turns out I ground up the biting part, that the cutting surface of a tooth, I suppose is what I would call it without any professional terminology mixed in. So they rebuilt that, and it took 2.5 hours. Like literally no preparation included, just 2.5 hours of laying on the chair and being treated by 3 different people for 3 different things. So I took Tuesday and Wednesday off work to recover, and now that I'm sitting here, I just noticed that I haven't really fully recovered, and I'm still at a point where brain has not fully recovered. So yeah, I'm just gonna steal stuff out of your safe right in front of you. One thing will never change in RPGs. Loot everything and everyone's belongings. Oh, you have money here. Thank you very much. Nothing else to read? But yeah, I think I'll be dead honest with you. The night before I went to the dentist, I watched this video of the new VR headset, the big screen, whatever it's called. Hi, Dalton. The big screen, whatever it is called, is a custom-made headset that uses an iPhone's face scan to make a custom headset that only fits you, that has the correct pupillary distance, that has a custom headset so everything is dark, that is ultra light, and that just feels like the next step in VR. Like a really interesting upgrade to the Index. I was like, Jesus, imagine this thing costs $1,000 a piece. You can't share it. It's literally just for you. It's built for you. It's adjusted to you. Unless someone has the same face, they can't use it. So you pay $1,000 for the headset. You don't have controllers with it. There is no webcam in it. There are no headsets in it. You still need your own headphones or earplugs. You still need your index controllers. You still need your lighthouses. So essentially, the whole setup we have right now, I could pay $1,000 and one person has a better headset. I was like, that is so much money. Then I went to the dentist and paid $1,900 despite insurance. Could have just purchased 2 of those headsets. I paid $1,900. I'm a gamer. So I'm a hardcore gamer. The first game I played when I was 12 was on a 2 megahertz PC, and I never stopped playing games. I own, on Steam alone, like 1,800 games. I'm a gamer, so if you tell me that I just paid 2 crayons just for teeth, there is this consideration. If you tell me I just remove all my teeth and I just get this VR headset, I'd be tempted. I'm not ashamed of saying that I live a very PC-centric life. I own 1 pair of shoes. I own 1 pair of pants. I own like 3 or 4 hoodies and a few t-shirts, and I don't need more. I literally don't need more because everything I spent in gaming. I'm fine living like that, and I wouldn't want to change it. So yeah, if you ever consider on whether you want to eat today or instead just buy another game, go for the game. I've done that hundreds of times. Doing a gamer diet isn't the worst thing. Just see there's nothing else here. And yeah, I have no problem admitting that I'm weird. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to judge, but having seen you on stream, you don't look overweight. I mean, you live in America. I feel like you're only overweight here when you're morbidly obese. Here, let me just steal all the hospital supplies real quick. I think one of the things that has improved my point of view of fitness more than anything ever was VR. I'm a gamer. I'm lazy. If you give me the option of, you know, sitting here and playing Vampyr, oh, better read this, or, you know, getting up and doing 50 push-ups, yeah, I'm fine right here. But you know what's really good? I loved Beat Saber until better games came around. And if you're wondering, yes, better games are here. They are called Audio Trip and Synth Riders and Ragnarok. Whether you like heavy metal or EDM or whatever, they are better games and they are more fun. And they are fitness. They force you to dance around and you're good about it. So yeah, if before you spend $1,000 for a yearly subscription to a fitness studio, consider getting VR if you haven't. Anyway, letter to Nurse Crane. My dear Dorothea, when you read this letter, I will be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brasov, England. Brasov, period. England was not for us, and I confess I cannot wait to see again the broad hills of Transylvania. As soon as we are there, I promise I'll light a candle in the Black Church and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. Wait, is Dorothea a vampire? I know that you do not agree with this decision and that you are determined to be more useful by helping our comrades exiled in the East End. But Anton cannot wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom. He is my husband. I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stand by your side and help you manage this clinic of yours. But now that I'm leaving England, be assured that if anything would happen to you, if you ever were in great trouble or danger, I would come back immediately to London with or without Anton. Please think of me as much as I think of you. I'm your affectionate sister, Theodora. More and more hints. And yeah, it's... like here, have an example. I just watched a video, I don't remember if it was LGR or... someone just did a video about 3D shutter classes. The old style of 3D. So before... Actually, yeah, let me pause here real quick because let's talk gaming history. Let's talk gaming history. Because I was the proud owner of the very first VR headset ever created. And if you go like, oh yeah, the Index or probably a slightly earlier product. No, it was in 1995. And this was the product. Yes, we're talking about 1995. This thing was amazing. It, as it says here, it cost the equivalent of $1,800. And it had two 263 by 230 screens. I want you to visualize this resolution. If you look at your smartphone today, and your smartphone has a full HD resolution, yes, this was 263 by 230 each eye. And they were exactly the way headsets are today. They were essentially just two screens, two little LCD screens that were full color. So this is not the Virtual Boy. Just to get this out of the way. The Virtual Boy, Nintendo, everyone knows this little red nightmare. No, this was full color. These were LCD screens. And the games you played on this 2.5-pound headset, they were Descent, Doom, Heretic, this era of gaming. I played Descent on this, and it was breathtaking. There were a few issues. Thank you for the headpad. I'll take more headpads. This resolution was ridiculous. Like literally, let me actually see. I mean, keep the finger on the Chrome button as I click on images here. Let me see if maybe I can find a resolution in this, but I probably don't. Maybe if I add Descent, let's spell Descent correctly. No, didn't think that would work. But yeah, I don't think I have to tell you how bad of a resolution this was. And yes, this was an MS-DOS device. You also see it was an ISA device because you actually needed an interface board. This thing needed to be plugged into this port on an internal board to even function. It had its own 3D card, and it had its own controller, the Cyberpuck. This thing had motion detection in it, so it could relatively accurately measure its orientation. Obviously not the position, but you had the orientation and the 3 buttons, so you could tilt your gun and you could fire it. Yes, this I grew up with. I was 14 years old when I got this, with some of the first money that I made working at a game store. It was a ridiculous device. And yeah, so I've been with VR for quite a time in my life. That was not good fitness though. That was clearly sitting because, as you can imagine, the head was not aware of where you were facing. The head itself had no measurement. It was just cameras. So only that and the puck, it was far away from the VR we have now. But yeah, this was consumer-based VR. And I am glad that I got to experience that, because it's just, yeah, it was way ahead of its time. Let's see, was there anything else to loot here, up there? Like, I have these fond memories of visiting a friend, and I had an IBM PC. I had a 2 megahertz PC that literally couldn't do shit. Because, surprise, back then, PCs couldn't do shit. And he had a C64, and he played all these awesome games, and I was so jealous. Kinda glad I stuck to PC. Oh, don't get me started on the word of consumer. I actually hate that word. I feel like the second you call your customers consumers, you delegate them to the level of just being mindless and just there to spend money, period. That's all a consumer is. Let's be honest. A consumer is there to spend money and consume, and essentially to destroy goods so they can be produced again and sold again. I highly prefer the terms customer or client, just because, yeah, consumer, in my opinion, is very negative. Yeah, you had Outbit. You have a good stream. I suppose you're streaming later. And thank you so much for coming on in. Hope you have a fantastic day. And, hold on, I don't think... Let me just... Because if you haven't... if you aren't aware, Bitrot, formerly known as Weissbit...
I need help!
I hope that's okay. Has recently started streaming, to be exact, very recently. So if you're not following Bitrot _, then please follow Bit. There, let's go help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Yeah, you go, Bit. And thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
It's such a good atmosphere.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
No, I'm not gonna be left alone. That sounds like a bad idea.
First, suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
I'm no doctor. A pennyfreen. A pennyfreen, isn't that just... I have no idea. Should I massage? Yes, cardiac? I don't know. I don't think we have a pennyfrene.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Yes. Oh well.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
That was a really good scene, though.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
Yeah, let me just make sure we have nothing else we need to pick up for other hints.
It's locked, all right.
This is an unfitting place for the illustrious Dr. Reed. You shouldn't be here.
Oh, shut up. Nope, nothing else.
Razvan was getting better with it. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Okay, yeah, she was a resistance fighter. Gives the medicine away for free. Oh, that is a tough decision. I'm not good at these things. I'm not good at socializing with people and knowing what to say. I'm leaning towards this. Yeah, I feel like, let's be honest, I've come to stop the blackmail.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
I feel like there's only one answer here. No. No, she is essentially a good person. So I'm not ending her. And I don't want her to resign. I think, since this is an option, no, I'm not eating her. Go away. I don't eat people that help other people. Okay, Ree, are you saying I should eat her too? Is that what you're saying? Are we leaning towards the war part? She is helping here. She is helping people here, and I 100% agree. These are people that wouldn't go, but you prefer resign. That is interesting. Oh, that is an interesting idea. If she resigns from the hospital, she could still work here. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and hiss. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagined. She didn't look like I could embrace her, and she clearly saw that I was vamping around when I was staring the blood. Oh. Yes, I remember reading about that, because I'm not strong. If I charm her, I might just make her a mental case. No, I think I don't want to modify her. I think she is a rebellion. A rebellion, wow. Yeah, my brain is not working today. I think if my brain continues not working today, I might just have to call off work, because brain is not working. I swear, that dental surgery on Tuesday took all out of me. But yeah, I don't want to kill her, and I don't want to break her. Especially, she is actually the pillar in this neighborhood. So she is the pillar of a neighborhood that's currently in a serious state. Yeah, I think I'm gonna spare her and side with her.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
Okay, that is, I think, the best choice by far.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Yeah, I think that was by far the best choice. Oh. Okay. So, now let's see. That means we're now at a level of Mesmerize 2. So let's see real quick. I decided to spare her. So we're now accomplices. She resigns from the hospital. and will continue treating the people here, and in return I will help her and finance her a bit. So yeah, I think this should really help. She is the pillar here, so that should improve. But I still need to help Darius and Bates. So I'm not gonna call it a night yet. Actually, let's see. Since we're now a level 2 mesmerizer, let's see if there were any I want to kill that I can, but I don't think so. Yeah, these two are good. These I haven't met. God, he needs a 6. Nope, he's good. I'm gonna keep him. I'm still considering. Hey, Alex. Oh, that is totally fine. I will take any check-in before bed. I hope you sleep well. But yeah, I could take down Thelma, but I don't feel right taking any of these. Because they're okay people. Okay, but that means we're done up here. Oh, what was that?
It's a leech!
How did you come in here? Just a sec. And yeah, that is the turtle one. Give me just a sec as soon as this is over.
Take a breath of ease!
There we go. Let me just make sure we have nothing here that I need to loot. Okay, then let me pause. So yeah, this in German pronunciation means teach me German. So that is exactly what it is. What shall we do today? Let's see, something fitting. Yes, hospital and graveyard. I think those are not a hospital is a brewery. We want a hospital. I think those are really, really good words for that. Because a hospital is a Krankenhaus. And this literally, Kranken is the term for sick people. So we literally call it the sick house, the sick people house. Because that's how it works in English. Actually, let me add one. Oh my god, I can't even spell today. This is ridiculous. Because the ambulance adds to it as the Krankenwagen. So instead of a sick house, you have a sick wagon. You have a sick car. That's as simple as it goes. It's a vehicle to transport sick people. Yes, I know, that German is great, isn't it? Even if you have no idea what the word means. If I tell you it's a sick wagon and a sick house, you still know it. For the graveyard, we're gonna go a little bit further, because no, it's not just dead people place, it's the Friedhof. Fried or Frieden, you know, as peace, and Hof is the yard. So essentially, the Friedhof is the peace yard. Isn't that beautiful? You tell me that's not beautiful. And thank you for the head pets. So yeah, there's your German lesson for today. If you ever go to the peace yard and you have, well, bodies, you know why. They are at peace. Gotta wipe it clean, so it's clean for the next time. There's the button. Yes, I'm still trying to memorize the buttons. I'm still not quite there yet every day. Okay, but that means, yeah, now we do head back to the hospital.
Get them weapons ready! Found one!
I really like this spear. Ow.
Fuck, he's fast! Oh Christ!
Let's heal first and then we renew the blood. There. That's how it should be. Krank. So in this case, you just say krank. Oh, let me actually put it in chat, that's a bit easier. So in this case, what I said is my mother is sick. I am sick. The sick person. So you can use krank, not crank. Please don't pronounce it crank. Krank as sick. So if you are sick, then you are krank. But if you are a sick person, then you are a kranke. Der Kranke. It's, you're probably gonna usually say der Patient, as in the patient, more than you say the sick person. But it works. It's definitely totally usable. So for example, if you have the sickness, you have the Krankheit with an H-E-I-T in the end, which is kind of a way that you can turn words into nouns in German. You just add that. Okay, no, I can't go there, so I have to go this way. There's no way through here. I know very little his people. But those I know are good beans. Wait, no, where do we go? Oh, we have to, yeah, we have to go all the way over here.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the street.
Okay, this way, yes, and thank you for the head pets. How are you today, Dalton, anyway? Hope you're having a good morning. So yeah, let's talk to Lady first. And then I want to take a second look at whether there are any people I can take down before I rest.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Oh, I see.
Kill it, boy!
Oh.
Cross the leader, boys!
Let's get a little bit more blood. That is such a good attack. Now, and if you ever have any German questions, you don't need to redeem that. You can always ask. But yeah, always happy to teach German if you have any questions. Let's do a heal. And then I'm gonna grab his blood. That is one. Yes, I actually did. So it turned out, Ketna, it was a bug. I had to be in a very specific spot and just stand there so the NPC finishes the pathing. That was the issue all along. You're just gonna stand there until I come in. Okay.
Let's see how it lies.
If that's how you want to play it, then so be it. Then I'll come in and chop you up.
I'll take its head. Look at it. Gone up like kindling.
There. Give me just a second. Let me just make sure we have... Yeah. Oh, Dalton. Yeah, from everything you told me, you need to get out of there. You really do. So even if it sounds a bit morbid, I'm just gonna put this in chat here. But what you would say is, mein Vater ist gestorben. So what it means is, my father has died. The verb itself is sterben, but if you use a past in German, then the word turns into gestorben. It's the times are very difficult. The tenses are very difficult in German. So in this case, the past tense just completely changes the word. But German loves doing that by putting, you know, little prefixes and suffixes in to change the word's meaning. So was this blood really just to attract me here? They said it was deliberately placed and then I got attacked. So was this like a vampire bait? It looks like, because they staked a rat to the street here. So I wonder if this was really just meant to attract me. Quite possible. There's more over here. That is a dead end. Okay, let's check out what's back there. Because it looks like I might have missed something here. Yeah, I know that the mini-boss fight was there, but I feel like there should be more. I've considered it. I mean, you know, if the interest is there, if you really want to do a German teaching stream, I would totally do that. One thing I have planned for my 100 follower stream, whatever that will be, is to play a German game and just translate everything. And really just have fun playing a German game together and making sure that you all know what's happening. What the heck? Why? What? Why do you let me teleport up here? But not climb over this or destroy it. That is a weird choice. But let me see if we missed any loot here. Oh? What was that entrance? Ketna, I know you're making a joke. I hope you're making a joke, but that game exists. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yes, But yeah, that game actually did exist. I know because it's on the German list of forbidden games. It was literally one of the very first games that was declared illegal in Germany. And it's a very early, I think it was like an Amiga and C64 game, essentially on the... If either of you has ever played a Lemonade stand manager, that's about what you have to expect. It's literally just the utmost basics of how much gas do you buy? Yes, I'm not kidding. How much gas do you buy for the days you get around? How much of this, how much of that? And then you start the day and you essentially murder people. I mean, let's face it, we still have shit games like this come out. Every time there's a school shooting, you see like another game attempting to pop up on Steam that plays out a school shooting or some shit. But we always had these games. You always have games that are created solely for the sake of causing an uproar. I mean, Postal was a very early example. Oh, hold on. A dog needs to be tucked in. Where's dog? Dog? Oh, there's dog. Well, now you have his attention. Kid came over to tell me that the dog wants to be tucked in, but by coming over and pointing at the dog took that as a sign that he now has Kid's attention and will get whatever Kid wants to not hand him. I'll be honest with you, I was there when it came out, and I can't confirm that.
Squeak.
It's a good squeak. But I actually can't confirm that they got any publicity. I mean, that was back when... Let me actually see when that game came out. That came out in 1990. Let me put up a screenshot just so you have a bit of a reference. So this brings me back to the idea of the VR, because I bought the VR 5 years later, but yeah, I don't really see a screenshot worth sharing. I mean, I think you can imagine what it looked like, and it's not worth getting into. But it was very basic, and it was literally just there to make people angry. Let's see, where did you go? You're in there. Well,
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for the reminder. I just hydrated. Actually hydrating with spicy V8 today. I have a whole class. Or a way too big mug, to be exact. Oh, I like it. It's a good one.
Sir, your hat has arrived.
Oh, it's time to wear the punk hat. Very fitting. Ta-da! I now have a hat cam. Yes, I now have a camera dedicated so I can show off the hats. Isn't it a good one? Fun fact, the default model for this hat actually has a swastika on it. That was a Unity asset with a very obvious swastika on it. So I decided that this would be a really good hat to repurpose with an anarchy symbol. Gotta admit, it suits me. I like it. Okay, about me.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
You gotta be into that stuff, Dalton. V8 is one of those things. I never had it until I flew in an airplane. I was like, well, you know, everyone in an airplane always buys tomato juice. If you've never flown, everyone in an airplane gets tomato juice because when you're in a higher elevation, it tastes different. And it does. The higher air pressure makes correct me if I remember wrong, but it makes especially the salt absorb better into your mouth and into your tongue. So one thing is that things taste more salty and stronger. And I live in Denver. So the extreme elevation we have in the Mile High City actually makes tomato juice taste different. So if you've never had tomato juice and you come here and you taste it, you will probably like it. If you say you live on ocean level, it will taste completely different. It's really weird, but it's the truth. It's weird. So yeah, that's why I like V8. Especially the spicy kind. I just love that flavor. I love that mix. And having a good mug of V8 in the morning is... Hashtag not sponsored. Your godfather is a World War I and World War II professor in Australia. That is an interesting one. Hold on, what is happening with my color? Hold on, let me take a look at that. I think my color is offset on this model. I might have to look at that later. But yeah, that is a unique thing to teach.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
Every now and then this happens, where the gamepad turns into a mouse cursor, and I still don't know why this happens.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake?
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Okay. So, hearing the voice isn't normal?
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't know, you just ate a person right here in front of the hospital.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
You seriously?
Such a crude word.
That's the question you asked.
By penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
An Ekon. Okay, so it's pronounced Ekon, not Econ.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Hey, Bigley. How are you today? Come on in, make yourself comfortable.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
Oh, I can't argue myself. Being pretty relaxed.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Oh, I like the party look. Party look is always the best look. Yeah, you go sleep well, Alex, and thank you so much for coming on in. I hope you have a good night. Rest well.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Oh, that is a very colorful one. Hold on, I need to see who that is. Bume. B-U-M? I don't actually know that one. I do feel like I need a disco emote. I like that. I want an RGB emote.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a Scarl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Yeah, I definitely have to look at them.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
This will always be one of my favorite voice emotes, Dalton.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
So here's a question that I always had about vampires. Vampires stop aging if you bite them. Oh, sorry, if you turn them. What happens if you turn like an 11-year-old? I mean, is this 11-year-old just gonna be frustrated for the next 500 years because they are 11 for the rest of their life? That just sounds horrible. I know in some lore they grow up. Like the book in here that talks about the, you know, when two vampires have a child, that it grows fast. But I just imagine you're this pre-puberty teen that's like 500 years old. Jesus. Well, I mean, Twilight is even worse because that poor kid had to go to school for like 200 years straight and act like a 16-year-old during that whole time. Ugh. But yeah, I always loved the idea of having like that 12-year-old elder vampire overlord. It's such an interesting idea in my head, and something that every vampire you always see is always in that perfect age. You know, 20s to 30s. You never see like a 70-year-old being bitten and then go like, fuck. I love that.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Oh yes, Interview with a Vampire. I remember. There was this really prettish child.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
These are good head pets. I like these head pets.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Space!
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Wait, the new day shift? Wasn't aware of that. Might have to look into that. Yeah, Anne Rice, you know, Bram Stoker. If you take these mainstays, they define 90% of what we see about these movie monsters. If you take stuff like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman and all these original... I don't want to call them novels because they weren't really. You know, they were diaries, they were travel logs, they were essentially horror travel blogs, if you want to call them that today. If you ever read these originals, it's so weird to essentially read a story of collected diaries. Yeah, Frankenstein wasn't, but like a lot of what the whole group surrounding the original monsters back then did. I mean, they were all more or less associated with each other. They knew of each other. And I think if you would compare to today, they probably would have been a group of fan fiction writers. They were just a group of people who were really into a very specific lore and wanted to work it out and develop it. And I can totally see those as fanfic writers today. I can see these as people who grew up with Twilight or, you know, True Blood and just wanted to develop the story more. And it's interesting when you read those, when you read them in the original format, because it's very slow and it's very descriptive and it feels like letters written home. It was an interesting way of telling stories.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
We're learning how to pronounce all these things today. I called them Priven. They're called Breven.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
She is an interesting
for now, my lady.
Person, but
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
She needs a mesmerize level of 20. Can I even? Would I even be able to? Can I even get to 20 in this game? But yeah, Sorry, to catch up. Yeah, the original Frankenstein, if you actually read that, no one would consider that a horror nowadays. In any way. I agree, it's a very different book. And most of the recreations don't pay it any real respect. But yeah, it was just a gothic novel. It was just an emo story, nothing else. Anyway, yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more, Eternal.
I have wasted too much energy for so little.
Tell me about being a text maker. A text maker. Oh my god. Yeah, my brain... My brain has not restored ever since the dentist yet. I'm not smart today. Okay. I see some loot sparkling. No. No. Yeah, I mean, Warhammer 40k I don't think has the text collectors in the way that I would call them text collectors. I am so sad that Dark Tide is what it is. I watched, I think Bitrot rated... I don't remember who he rated, but he was playing Dark Tide. And it looks so much fun. It looks so nice. It's the setting, the everything. But much like Resident Evil 4, if you have microtransactions in the game, I will circumvent it. There are so many good games out there that I need to play. Microtransactions don't need to be in it. Yeah, I mean, sure, they are purely cosmetic, but you know what? Looking nice in a game is purely cosmetic. It's a big part of the game. If you log off every appearance that is halfway appealing behind paying more for a $60 game than you already paid, I feel really uncomfortable about it. Which is funny, because then you bring stuff like Deep Rock Galactic. I purchased all the appearance items for Deep Rock Galactic because I think they deserve it. So I suppose I just have a very mixed opinion. I'm a horrible person. I know. I like supporting small companies and I don't like supporting big companies. And if a small company needs some extra money, I'm more okay with it than if Capcom goes around and 4 weeks after Relate goes like, hey folks, hey folks, we noticed that the sales weren't as good and the ratings were really high, so send us more money. At that point, I'm just like, nope, bye, have a nice day. Let me buy that new appearance for Deep Rock Galactic that I will never wear. Because I already have the appearance I like. Anyway, I swear I should stop ranting. I'm just ranting on this stream. We're gonna... Yes, I know, Ketna, that was satire. Well, it was sarcasm. It was sarcasm. Hey, it didn't sell good enough. We need to put microtransactions in. Because what else is the reason that you put microtransactions in 4 weeks after the game came out? Give me one reason. And yeah, sure, the microtransactions are largely ignorable. But they are in the game. And that means you attract people who have trouble purchasing. Yes, they circumvent ratings. Exactly. That's the main issue. It's you intentionally release a better game and then make it worse expect to make more money. Because surprise, if these microtransactions would have been in from the start, then the ratings wouldn't have been as high. Then the sales wouldn't have been as high. So doing something that's sleazy, imagine I tell you, hey, you can move into this apartment for $800 a month. I'm sorry you didn't read the rental contract, because after you live in here for 2 months, I'm gonna raise it to $1,500. Nothing you can do. You didn't read the rental contract. You liked the apartment. You paid it for you got it for $600. This isn't okay. Why are games allowed to do that? So yeah, the second you circumvent Metacritic ratings, you circumvent all of these. Yes, just vent ratings. Actually, yes. And yes, Ketna, that's kind of what I'm hinting at. But yes, if you change the game, I used to go to MMORPG.com to look at the current ratings of MMOs, because I'm always curious where MMOs go. And MMOs change. You know, Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 was one of the worst MMOs ever released, and then it was shut down. You know, if you play Final Fantasy XIV today, you're not going to look at a review for 1.0. Because it's not the same game. Because the game changed. But if I look at a review for Resident Evil 4 now, I'm also not looking at the same game. The game changed. It's just not on the same level. Yes, okay, I agree that... Okay, they are only visual. They are only appearance. You don't need to buy any of the microtransactions. And then think of people who have a gambling addiction. Of people who have trouble spending money. One of those people might have purchased Resident Evil 4 because it had no microtransactions, because they can play that game without risking that they spend more money. And now you suddenly put it in. That's like going to school and having the friend that gives you like that free drug sample. Hey, it's free. What's wrong? Take a free drug sample. Come on, shoot it up your arm. It's free. No. Yes. Thank you, Ketna. And I will always bring the example of Shadow of War. Shadow of War was always like, no, these microtransactions are all optional. You don't need any microtransactions. Everything is fine. And then they removed the microtransactions and they had to rebalance the game because they removed the microtransactions. Just like I said, I don't mind if people are playing Resident Evil 4, but I guarantee you I'm not watching a stream. As much as I don't watch a stream of Hogwarts being played because I have zero interest in it. And I would love that. Ketna, immediately. If you stream Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, immediately. I actually purchased a GameCube for Resident Evil 4. I even purchased the Resident Evil 4 GameCube Collector's Edition. And then played the game for 2 hours and considered it so boring and uninteresting that I never went back to it. I'm not a Resident Evil person. But I'm not gonna go recycle. Yeah, that is one thing that is big on my list. I do want eventually the ability to stream older systems. Very big on the list for me is having a capture card and having a DOS-based system. So I can literally stream DOS. Command prompt, Windows 95, something like that. Having a good retro PC to play retro games on stream, on original hardware, not console, that is my hope. Okay, we have a... Yes, they put microtransactions 4 weeks after Resident Evil 4 was released. make sure it doesn't affect the ratings negatively. Which is a way to get on my shit list. So, we have a brisk blood sample. Let's see what we get from that. What did we get? A stamina serum. A strange formula? Yes, there we go. Now we have headache, migraine, and neuralgia. And the blood sample, which gave me another stamina serum. That is really nice. So now I can go out.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Okay, let's first check what we need. So we need 1 headache. 1 headache, 1 migraine. 1 headache, 2 migraine, a cold, and a bronchitis. 1 headache, 2 migraine, a cold, and a bronchitis. 2 migraine, 1 headache, a cold, and a bronchitis. There. So now, let's first make sure everyone is healthy. I'm not going to bed until everyone is healthy. And for that we need... yeah, she is unknown, so docs are good. Let's start here. Oswald Thatcher. I think he was outside. And yeah, it's just don't put microtransactions in a remake, period. Don't. It's every time that happens, it always causes a lot of unhappiness. Let's see, I think he should be down there. He used to be somewhere here. Okay, where did Oswald go? Nope.
Steady, boy.
Let's chop you up real good.
I'll take its head. Good.
Shit, that leech is fucked!
Yeah, and refilled. I always like when I manage to finish a combat without any damage. But I didn't find Oswald. Thought he should be around here somewhere. And yeah, I 100% agree. It's... There's the Overton window. If you've never heard of the Overton window, just look it up. The Overton window is the idea that you slowly stretch what is acceptable. And you do that by overdoing it. You know, if I walk into the room and I yell at people, exactly, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I yell at people every time. Then at some point people get used to the fact that I yell at them every time. If you get used to the fact that, well, after you pay $60 for a game, you're expected to pay like 30 or 40 extra dollars. You slowly get used to it, bit by bit. then at some point it just becomes normal. And that is what game developers want from you. They want to push it. Like, there's another one I meant to listen to, but it's like they're not getting into the correct position. There we go. Where? Here?
It's locked, all right.
Where am I meant to stand? Here? There, okay.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
Gay. Gay.
Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all. Fuck the war.
Gay. But yeah, I agree, Ketna. It's like... thank you, Eternal. I'm pretty gay is an impressive censorship. He's a pretty gay. No, where were we?
Rats in the streets.
No, I got carried away. But yeah, exactly to quote Jim Sterling, is when was that okay? When has that become okay? Why is it okay? I mean, is it better that we pay that in a multiplayer game where it's pay to win? Just, yeah, make a good game in the first place.
Hello again, Mr.
And it will sell.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
Personal question. Are you gay?
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know. I never thought I'd love a man.
And, you know, I agree. Ketna, I agree, then raise the price. When Command & Conquer 1 came out, it was the first game that we sold in the store that wasn't at a 50 German mark price point, but at a 60 German mark price point. And you know what? 50 marks were about 25 US dollars and 60 marks are about 30. So people argued that Command & Conquer 1, instead of costing $25, cost $30. You know, inflation happens. Nowadays, you can't sell games for $60 because you can't cover the cost for many games. So you sell them for $100. People don't buy them for $100, so you sell them for $60 and cram DLC in for the whales. I'd prefer if you just sell me the game for $100 and have a complete game. Imagine Ubisoft would bring out a game for $100 that will not get any DLC, will not get any expansions, does not have any microtransactions, and it's just a really good game. Well, I'm sure it would sell. But yeah, it's back then you made a game with 5 or 10 or 15 people. I mean, there's a reason that Command & Conquer 1, Kane, the bad guy, was literally just one of their developers. They didn't pay for an actor. They didn't go to Fiverr and pay for a voice actor, even. No, they just asked someone in their team to sit in front of the camera with a shaved head because he looks like a cult leader. Nowadays, you have 150 people working on it, then yeah, it's... We need smaller, middle shelf games. Period. I feel like the ... here makes this the one that I don't want to pick. Because I want to, you know, I want to support them. Of course I do. But I feel like here I'm gonna go like, enjoy your love, but know that God judges you harshly. Yeah, let's do that.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
That's okay. You can...
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
You go gay around, we're all happy here. Except Oswald, he has a headache. Oh wait, if I give him the medication, does that mean he's then willing to get
Good evening.
laid?
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
Yeah. I'm glad no one ever copied the Vampire Survivors formula.
I'm certain you have your reasons, but let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked your life to save me, after all.
I'm sure he's
joking. It would be
joking.
impolite to refuse your counsel.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm like, that was a good sarcasm. No, it wasn't sarcasm, it was just a typo.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
This is such a beautiful game. I'm sorry, I love this game. The fact that, you know, I rescued him, that if I wouldn't have been there at that time, he would have died, and it's just, I love it. It's so well written.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck them all.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
Oh wait, no, I was meant to.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Oh no, wait, I already gave him the
Goodbye,
medication.
Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
But yeah, I agree, Ree. It's... The fact that I haven't played this game in so long actually makes me feel bad. I feel like I should have played this much sooner. Okay, so now we head back to Whitechapel to shove some pills up down those throats. Wait, that is the way, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I know I said it before, I'm not sure if you were here. I actually couldn't play LA Noire. So something that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm facial blind. I don't recognize faces. So I can work with you in an office for months. If you change your place and then you don't talk to me, I'm not gonna recognize you. I don't know who you are. I recognize people based on voice, based on what they wear, based on, say, the hair. So, perfect example, a colleague of mine had pink hair. Well, the next day she came to work and had green hair, and I had no idea who the fuck she was. So, if you're gonna meet me at a con, let me know who you are if I don't recognize you. That's just... I will not recognize any people that I know by face, even if I've known you for years. If you want a really good example of how bad it actually is with me, when I was a kid, a supermarket owner once called the cops on my mom because I was in the supermarket and my mom came up to me and wanted to go home and I didn't recognize her. So I started crying. I mean, I was like 5 years old or so, 6, I don't know. So they literally called the cops because they thought that she is abducting me. That's kind of when I figured out that I'm facial blind, that this is not how normal people see things. To me, faces are just irrelevant. And that is bad enough that I can't recognize people I know. So LA Noire triggered this in all the wrong ways. In LA Noire, I couldn't tell the things that you need to be able to tell to play the game. I couldn't... You know, I couldn't tell if someone was lying based on their facial expressions because I don't really see them. So, LA Noire is one of the games I've never experienced simply because I couldn't. But yeah, facial blindness is a really interesting thing. It feels like such a weird malfunction of the brain. Blood. I see bloody people. Okay, where are they? I thought they were all around the church. Did I go too far? I suppose I went too far. Nope, this way. This way goes back. And yeah, Eternal, I mean, in all fairness, I don't know what you look like anyway, so it's not like I would actually not recognize you anyway.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
And speaking of, I do desperately need to get a name badge done. Okay. I don't think I ever extensively talked to him.
Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Here, hold on, I'll show you.
This is what I look like. Look at me. I'm Eternal_fam.
There. There. Question answered.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
But see, that doesn't work for me, Eternal. Because you could ask me what do I think Kid Crash looks like? Kid Crash is currently to my left, but blocked by a soundproof wall. Because he's at his own PC. And I've been with him for 16 years. I can't answer that about Kid Crash. I can tell you his eye color. And I can tell you his eye color because when the day we married, my sister looked at him and then told me, oh my god, he has such insert eye color eyes here. And I was like, oh, he does? And I looked at him and like, yeah, I suppose he does. And that is the only reason why I remember his eye color. If you ask me right now what he looks like, I couldn't tell you. And I've been spending day and night with him for 17 years. So if I can't tell that about the person that lives next to me, literally 5 feet from here, I can't tell it about a person I never met. It's like Avantlaws. If I would meet you again, I can't tell what your eye color is. I can't tell what your hair color is. If I would meet you until you talk, I won't recognize you. That's part of the issue.
I'm Crash, by the way.
Yes, he is. It's just I am completely blocked off from recognizing and remembering what people look like. There is no. Yeah, there is no. Imagine I just don't have a spot associated in my brain for saving that. So to me, well, I know your name, I know where you work, and if you talk, I will recognize your voice, because I know what it sounds like. But if I meet you on the street and you would just look at me, I would awkwardly nod and then keep on walking. The voice I recognize, because I heard you talk. I mean, we worked in the same office for 4 months? Something like that. So voice, fine. Or say, we had colleagues that worked in that office that had dyed hair. Well, yeah, I can remember that person with that pink, bright hair is Sylvia. But then if Sylvia comes in the next day and has green hair, I'm like, oh, it has? Wait, what? Did I actually meet you and I didn't recognize you? Is that seriously what happened? Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's I probably know the happy hour you were talking about. I came into the office to pick something up. And I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable that I meet all these people that I've been working with for 2 years at that point. And I recognized 2 people. I recognized my boss and I recognized the person from HR, because both immediately said hi and I recognized them. The others? Nope. No idea. It just went all over my head. I was standing in there. I felt like going to that wedding reception where no one but the groom. And you just awkwardly nod when everyone says hi. It's one of the reasons I don't like public places. If I visit public places, I just openly accept that everyone there is will be unknown. And yeah, Ketna, Avantlaws and me actually work at... Avantlaws and I work at the same company. We used to work in the same office until they closed the office. And now we just work in the same city for the same company remotely, but not in the same position. I stayed in technical support, and Avantlaws had a bit more luck and moved on to a much better place. I still have to deal with angry men, usually angry old white men. That's 90% of our client base.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes. His manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
It's weird that this is still active. So I feel like there are questions we don't have answers for yet.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Okay. I actually didn't think it was a bug. I thought it would just take a while until I can get a hint that unlocks something else. But yeah, I've seen this a few times now, so I'm not surprised it's a bug.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
That is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
You know what I would really love to do if it wasn't like another 20 hours to attach to this gameplay? Is I would love to do an all-evil playthrough. Just like take all the lives you can. Like literally just leave nothing but death in your wake. I would love to see how the game handles that. Because it obviously is, it obviously gives you the chance to eat everyone. And I would just be curious what the world turns into if you do that.
How is Nurse Crane these days?
I don't know what you told her or what kind of deal you made, but Dorothea seems less anxious recently. Thank you for that, Dr. Reed.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Oh wait, no, he has.
Yes?
bronchitis.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Oh, I'm still gonna give you something.
I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor. It must be my lucky day.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Oh yeah, here's a question for you, Ree. If I don't plan to eat them, I mean, it still makes sense to heal them all, right? Just to keep the district happy and healthy. Because I feel like I spend so many resources on healing all of them every day that I'm like leaning towards reconsideration sometimes. Nope, let's go to the church that way. Yes. But yeah, I would love to see a playthrough where I just om-nom everyone. Okay, hold on. Who is left? Mason Swanborough. I have no idea where you were. I have no idea where you were. And yeah, you are somewhere over here. I think you were on the way back. Yeah, that's what I thought. It feels right. I'm a doctor, healing them. But so many of them get sick every time I turn around. Okay, let's go here and then turn right. No, you go squeeze the beans. Beans are there to be squeezed. Speaking of beans to squeeze, if either of you has Golf It and you're up for a game after the stream, please add me on Steam or, you know, send me a message in Discord. Eternal, Kit and me are gonna play a little bit Golf It later if everyone's still up for it. So if you're interested in joining, yes, please be our guest. Okay, where's her hubby? Oh, there's Benjamin.
Good evening.
That's fine, Dalton. You can...
Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
If there's one thing I can assure you about me, is I'm always ready for a hug.
Well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
I can try to help your body heal, sir. But you must stop destroying it.
The war destroyed me, Doctor.
So yeah, if you own Golf It and you're interested in playing around with us, please add me.
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I visited her dispensary recently. If I'd heard about it sooner, it would have made life easier.
I mean, actually, if we would have enough people to play, that might even be a really fun stream game, just as a community day. And thank you for the headbits. Yes, I should, I know. You know what? Yes, let me mute real quick and... Yeah, thank you for the reminder. I'm still mildly annoyed that I got such a big cup, well, big mug, to drink V8, and I literally can't take a sip without making a mess in my face. I drink like an idiot.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tabloids.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, I suppose it does, doesn't it? Yeah. It's... like, you know, I do feel bad for all our avian friends out there. If there is one mouth shape that has to be a nightmare to drink out of a glass with, it's a beak. Like, what do you even do? What does a bird furry do? Do you just like throw your head up and just pour it in? Do you use a straw? But then there's a problem. If you use a straw, bird beaks are not, you know, not bendable. They are not flexible. So how do you apply pressure to a straw if you can't close your lips around it? You can't suck. A bird can't suck through a straw because for that you need to apply vacuum. And to do that you would have to close the beak. But if you close the beak, you're just gonna cut the straw off. It's, yeah, I love birds. I love birds, but dude, birds have it rough. Have you ever thought about being like a horse anthro and having hoofed fingers? Well, you know, you still have fingers. Imagine just having wings and not fingers. That is a tough one. So, he was a war veteran and he earlier fired a gun at his son, but intentionally missed. Yeah, birds with fingers never works for me. Then split it in two. You know, then have arms and wings. That makes a lot more sense. But wing arms, as cute as they are, I can't see them work out. Like, how do you hold a... I just wanted to hold my controller up to show you that I'm holding a controller. Because you're totally... Here. You're seeing this controller here? This... Now imagine, you were a bird. How do you grab this? It's... yeah. Love burps, hate the downsides. He's a war veteran. I'm tempted to tell him that he shouldn't feel ashamed. Because he needs to get over that.
I'm cute Crash, by the way.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Yeah, I don't think I have the pills you need, unfortunately.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Okay. Who is left? We have Bates, who has a cold, and her husband, who has a migraine. Oh, hold on. Got the cable hooked on the mouse.
I'm cute Crash, by the way.
I used to have an Xbox One gamepad. Really nice gamepad. I still have it here. And I had so much trouble with the reception. Again and again it would just disconnect and not work reliably, and I always assumed it was the gamepad. So at some point I bought a new gamepad to replace this. Well, it turns out it wasn't the gamepad, it was actually the receiver that broke. Yay. So I'm now using my gamepads with cable and everything is fine, but at least I have an extra gamepad in case one breaks. So never a bad thing. Oh, who are you? To have an extra gamepad. Who are you and how do I get in there? He'll get there.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Yeah, let me loot your household first. I'll be right back and then we can talk. But yeah, take your time, kid. It's... You know, if there's one thing that I can say, it's when I had, I think it was 47 followers, I took a break. I took like a 7-month break because I didn't want to be an affiliate until I knew exactly what I wanted, until I had everything set up. I was actually really specific about that. I mean, it took me like 7 or 8 months. And I'll be honest, I think it did me well. I think it was the best thing I could have done. It's just what it is. Sometimes you need time to think about something, especially if you want to do something creative, which essentially you are if you are a streamer. And it takes time. You should never rush art. Dear Mr. Peterson, it is my duty to inform you of our refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for the time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation with your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife. But it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company, which expressively reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your unfortunate connections with the ill-famed Wet Boot Boys have been duly noted. There are hard times, sir, and Finch and Harper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy, and may God be with you and your family. I think that was an appropriate voice for an HR employee. But no, I'm sorry, it is art. Designing a character, creating your persona. We just had this with Skylar. Skylar the Burp, Skylar the Shapeshifter. I thought it was a really interesting development to see how Skylar went through all of these steps and just slowly, you know, pinpointed down more and more what they want their character to be. And I support that 100%. If you want to take another year until you stream again, do so. If this is what feels right, do so. I support everyone. Don't rush it. Make it right. There. Now that I looted your whole household, we can talk.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
He has such an ugly face. What is wrong with his face? My brain does not like this face at all.
Have you any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I don't believe in miracles, but it seems the epidemic has been kept at bay for a few days.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
I mean, it looks like an okay place to live.
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
He's an interesting person.
Help, young man?
Yes, I do.
I know I said that a few times.
I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
I will see you later.
I don't have fatigue, okay. I gotta craft that then.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you sad then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities. But I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Okay, so we need a treatment for fatigue. There's a crafting spot over here.
It's locked.
Okay, not this one then. Weird. Why is this locked? Oh, have we been inside here? No, we haven't. I don't sense any enemies. No, just a loot room. But maybe this leads upstairs to the hideout. Let's make sure we forgot nothing. Nope, nothing else is flickering. So quiet. I don't like it when it's so quiet. I suppose now that I know it's a hideout, it's okay to be quiet. Any more loot? Are you loot? No. Okay, then let's make the fatigue one here real quick. Fatigue. There. Let's see, do we have enough to just make one for each? Yeah, these one hurt a little. No, okay, let's not do neuralgia. Unless, yeah, we can afford it. Then let's make sure we have one of each with us. I think that's a really good idea. We have nothing to analyze. We can't upgrade anything, can we? Wait, where's our hatchet we're using? Yeah, we're using this hatchet. No, we can't upgrade that yet. But we have a few recyclables. There. Now let's see. Where do you lead? No, this leads out. And this also. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 chop. Yeah, I really like this axe. I think an axe is also a really good vampire hunter weapon. Just very blunt. Right. Blood as a collection? What did I just pick up? No, here. It's not junk. It's not in here. I'm actually not 100% sure what I picked up. All I know is I noticed that I couldn't read it. Make sure we forgot nothing. Nope. Okay, where does this door lead? Oh, okay. So now, let's go back in and try the other door. So through here and right. Let's see where that one leads. I do wish it was a bit more obvious which door leads to a zone and which doesn't. Like, give them different icons. Okay, so now we gotta go back to the guy we just talked to. He was somewhere here. Yes. So we just need to knock on his door again.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure.
Come, Dalton.
Sure.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Yes, this will never get old.
So,
I'm cute
may
Crash,
I
by
ask
the
you
way.
a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Space!
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this.
Oh, poor emo kid.
I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Okay, let's see who else we need. We need to find Bates and her husband.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Oh god, stop whining. Okay, so those two are good. Bates. Who was Bates? I have no idea who he was. And I still don't know where he is. So let's go past Christina and Camilla. There's Clayton. Yeah, there's Camellia and Richard. Was there anyone else in this direction? I don't know who this Bates guy is. And where I saw him. I don't see people here. I might have to look that up, just to make sure I don't run around aimlessly. Because he should always be in the same spot, more or less. No, no one? And let's go left again. Oh, there's a woofie. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Ree. Woofie neck kisses. More woofie neck kisses. There. Tired woofie. Common trigger part. That all? Yes, looks like. Okay, so Darius's house. That should be this direction. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much, Ree. Yeah, I thought he would be somewhere here. And that's his son and dad. Blah 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 blah.
This is despicable.
Okay, so not back here. No, I need to go back up here. And along the left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's Darius. He doesn't need my help. I don't think they were down here. No. And that should be pretty much a dead end. If I'm not mistaken, there's actually a locked door, wasn't there? Yeah, exactly. So not down here. And then we already head back to Whitechapel again. Let me just make sure it was not somewhere here in the back alleys. No. And her husband. There's no one in the house.
As long as you have the money.
Actually, let me see if she has something new to say.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
I am also looking for her husband.
Have you any news on Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I can't believe that people are naive enough to trust her medicine. She's just a shady nurse with good connections.
Goodbye, Miss Swanworth. Perhaps we'll talk again.
So yeah, her... I mean, I assume it's her husband. Mason, he has a migraine. I'm looking for End Bates. Okay, so Mason isn't here. But Bates should be somewhere here. I'm not sure where else he could be. Oh, was he near there? Stonebridge Cemetery, there was... Oh, Mason is Stonebridge Cemetery. Stonebridge Cemetery, where is that? I think I did because I met him. So I must have talked to him. Or was he the one? Yeah, I do loosely remember him saying that he wants to go somewhere. But he hasn't. And I think that's exactly it. That's why he hasn't gone there yet. So that means we can't help him. He will just keep his... Thank you for the head bits. So these two we can't help right now. These we all helped. These we all helped because we can't talk to her yet. So yeah, I actually think that means it's time to go back. And sleep. Well, I mean, we're not gonna sleep. We're gonna talk to Dr. Swansea. Though I think... you know what? Otherwise we're not gonna get golf it in, and I do wanna play golf with some beans today. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it a night here. I think that is a good time to call it a night. And tomorrow we will be back with more Vampyr. Though at the end we're also gonna play something else, but like I said, that's gonna be a little bit of a surprise until tomorrow. But today I'm gonna take you away to a very good bean that came in the other day. You might have heard him. Let me just make sure. Yeah, he looks like he's still going on for a long time. So if you haven't seen him in chat, Stelox the Almost Fox, very cute bean, recently started streaming, currently has 34 followers. So we're 16 followers away from affiliate. So really, support the bean, support every bean, support anyone that wants to stream, because how could I not support spending more time with you amazing people? This has been some of the best time of my life so far, and it's thanks to you all. So I can't put my hands together. I can get them close, but as soon as I get them too close, it ends. So I'm just gonna hold them here, so you know that I'm folding my hands and I'm begging you to follow the cute beans. Follow all the cute beans and support them, so we can get them to affiliate, so we can get them to have their redemptions and points. And let's face it, subscriptions are one thing, and most of us will never really make money on, at least, you know, serious money. No, wrong one here. Serious money. But having points unlocked and being able to having redemptions and have people that, you know, can change your hat or do weird things, it is such a nice feeling. So oh my god, I talk way too long.